So for tonight, we're going to be doing Vesper Reanimator. It's a deck made by Fluffy Wolf. I'll link to his channel in the description, and the link for today is going to be his bit.ly link. It's a creation basically trying to utilize Vesperlark and Body Double. Vesperlark, when it leaves the battlefield, you return a creature with power 1 or less, and then Body Double is a 0/0. Body Double enters the battlefield as a copy of a creature in a graveyard. So we try to put something in our graveyard, such as a 5/5 Ashen Rider or a Woodfall Primus, as a way to destroy target non-creature permanents, such as lands. We also have Footsteps of the Goryo as our way to bring back the stuff. The beauty of this with Footsteps and Woodfall is Footsteps brings it back, and then it'll die, and then the Persist trigger will happen, so you get two Woodfall Primus triggers, you get a permanent 5/5 for 3 mana, and you destroy 2 of their lands. To help us discard, we've got Collective Brutalities and Mind Rakes, which typically reads target player discards 2 cards, but because its overload is 1 less, that makes it each player discards 2 cards, which, when we're dealing with this scenario, is not a bad thing, because we want to discard cards. We want our opponent to not have cards, that way they can't interact with us. It's a win-win scenario. To help us mill over things, we've got Stitcher's Suppliers and Hedron Crabs, so that way whenever we do landfall, we can mill ourselves 3. And then this enters the battlefield, mills 3, and it dies, mills 3. Jacevin's Prodigy is a way to dig, we draw and discard with it. Its flip side is somewhat useful as a way to recur, say, Footsteps, a Mind Rake, Collective Brutality, or an Unburial Rites with the Planeswalker side. And then a Singleton Liliana of the Veil, just as a decent creature removal. Good way to make people discard cards, and the ultimate's not terrible. When it comes to sideboard, what we've got is we've got 2 Aether Gusts. Fluffy was running 4. I went back down to 2. I don't know if that's right or wrong. It just depends. 2 Timely Reinforcements for the more aggro matchups if we need health. Feed the Swarms as a way to deal with creatures and enchantments, and Teferis as a way to bounce things such as artifacts, and then Ashiok's to stop searching, and also we can mill ourselves and then exile our opponent's yard, and then 2 Iona in the yard as a way to shut off, say, mono red, and 2 Elishnorn as a way to just deal with creature decks. That's the quick rundown of the thing. Let's see if we can't break the 4/1 curse. Okay, we won the die roll. Let's take the play here. Okay, we've got Crab, Footsteps, Ashen Rider. Sure, why not? We can keep this. Blessed, more like it. If only. We've yet to get the 5/0 with it, therefore it's cursed, isn't it? Opponent. Okay. Oh yeah, I still have this from the video. Forever 4/1. I'm not gonna play out the crab here, because this way we can try to dodge removal. Whereas the other way we have to try to dodge, or this way we have to dodge hand disruption, other way we have to dodge removal. And with them playing a tapped land is pretty good for us. I can remove that. And I went through combat, that's nice. And I now see the downside having drawn that Collective Brutality, because we could be discarding this Ashen Rider. But that's a Woodfall Primus, which is arguably one of the best hits for this deck. We'll get that tapped. Mill ourselves 3 more. And that's pretty great. So we've got, arguably this turn, next turn's going to be Footsteps into the Woodfall Primus. They named Goblin. Go right ahead, opponent. This is target non-creature permanent. Well, on the bright side, They won't have lands next turn. We'll do a swamp here. We don't have anything that we want to be removing yet. Got Pop-Tarts for the good luck. They don't have one land. We have a Footsteps and a Woodfall Primus. That destroys their lands. It's both. They'll have one land from their land drop. I guess you're right. This, destroy that. And then we sacrifice. Persist trigger happens. This, and there goes their castle. Good old prison. That's a nice land, opponent. So the problem is we now need... Wait, we can just flash this back, right? And we can exile? Yeah. Sweet. We have a flashback and burial rites on this Ashen Rider. Let's see if we can't mill ourselves something better. Okay. Nothing better. So we will go ahead and unburial rites this Ashen Rider. Going for 3. Ashen Rider comes back. And we'll exile the land. They don't want to play this game. Okay, there we go. What do you mean you don't want to play this game, opponent? Well, if this wasn't a time for Ashiok and Elishnorn, I don't know what else would be. As seeing we get to make all their goblins small, and we can just make it so they can't cast red spells. Which doesn't necessarily shut off their game plan. From the aspect of their game plan is to either combo or mid-range us. Elishnorn will shut off the mid-range. Iona, if we get it down early enough, can stop the red part of their combo. They can still then switch over to mid-range. They then only have black goblins to cast. I don't think they'd be winning from that point. So I think it's right to bring in the Ionas and the Elishnorn. As far as what we're taking out, probably JVP. Ashiok for searching. That's another plan. Not bad to stop the matrons. I don't know how much we want to dilute. We can take out the Lily. That's not going to be that great in this matchup. And now we're looking at either cutting 3 or keeping the Ashioks out. I like the Ashiok game plan though. Guess we could shave a Primus since we're bringing in a lot more hits. And then I guess a Supplier and a Crab. Sure, we'll try it like this. We'll see if it's right or wrong. So, hand's got discard and a Woodfall Primus and a Vesperlark. The Vesperlark's not great on its own, but the discard plus Footsteps seems probably good enough. Like, this forces them to kind of sort of have the turn 3. Or they'll have a Relic. Because why wouldn't they have Relic of Progenitus? Okay. So this is fine. Because minimalistically, we've forced them to pop Relic next turn by pitching this Collective Brutality. Because they can't make us exile anything important. Have that intertapped. Okay, they want to go ahead and eat the card. That's fine. We will shock in a Hollowed Fountain here 2-mode collective brutality. Lose 2 lives, reveal their cards. Pitch the Primus. Okay, so we're looking at Blood Moon. Okay. So they either have to play Blood Moon to try to shut us off of colors here, at which point we have this swamp, or they have to break Relic. What is their decision? They name Goblin. Blood Moon it is. Nice call, opponent. Then makes us exile a card. I'll exile a collective brutality, why not? That'll happen. Hey, look at that, footsteps. We could destroy their relic. I'm not opposed to trying to shut them off of mana and then vial, because we don't need, like, having a 5/5 here is pretty good. We don't know what their third card is here. That persist comes back. Like, now they now need land. Okay, well, they had it, so they can land and then matron and try to find an answer to the Woodfall Primus. Sure, I've already done everything I wanted to do with my graveyard for now. That matron can go and get a card. What does matron get? Snoop. Okay. They still don't have a black source to be able to play the black half of the combo. We can't play that card. Let's begin combat. Swing. Opponent's willing to take 5, and we pass the turn. Yeah, that's another fair thing, is go with Relic and Moon. Okay, they get to make plenty of things. So they could now quadruple block to kill. Okay, well, there's a Stitchers. Let's play Stitchers before combat, so that way we can mill over some cards. And a Vesperlark is hit. We can swing, they can chump block, or they can choose to quad block to kill. They make us exile. We'll exile a Delta. Okay, they just block 1. Apparently they don't care about the trample effect. So now they have Crater Maker. So their hand is Matron plus that other goblin that was just on top that they drew. Makes us exile yet again. That's fine. They can't really swing here, and they don't want to tap out. We're looking for second swamp to shut off with Ashiok here. They choose to swing. I mean, I'll gladly block and try to either find something good here or make you pop Relic. Well, there goes Relic. Iona. Because the problem is we go to target, they pop. That's fine, however. We're sacrificing at the beginning of the end step with this. So we go body double. Make them pop. Yep. That's fine. There's the Bogart, which will kill us as soon as they find black mana. Okay, they snoop. And they pile driver. They swing with 2. So they swing for 4. They'd have 6 toughness back as blockers. Yep. So either basic off the top here. And no, we need an island off the top here. Dang it. Stuck with a lot of uncastables in hand. If we swing, they block with all, we lose our Woodfall Primus. But that's fine, because then if we draw another Footsteps. And paying costs. I was like, you're tapped out, opponent. So they take 1, go to 3. And we, I think, are dead to the pile driver because of that, aren't we? I wasn't thinking. +2 plus, is it +2 +0 for each goblin? Yeah. So 1, 2, 3. So 3, 5, 7, 8, 10. It's exactly lethal. Unfortunate. That's what I get for not thinking. Needed to hold back to block the pile driver. And they cast Kiki Jiki. I guess second pile driver. Yeah. So even if we had held back, they'd be attacking with 2 more goblins, and the double pile driver would be enough to kill us. Yep. Okay. So we know that they brought in Moon, so Feed the Swarms come in. We could bring in Gusts. I'm not a big fan of the Iona, so we'll take those out. Now we need to find 2 more to cut. to make room for these gusts. An Ashyak and a Vesperlark. Yeah. They didn't really do too much searching that game. And Vesperlark, this time we'll fetch more of our basics instead of fetching dual colors. I would love to take the play. We've got that. We can get white. We have Mindrake. Yeah. Want to mulligan to 6. Okay, here we go. Blood Moon pass turn. Let's see what we can do. I said Blood Moon, I meant Polluted Delta. Okay, they go get a basic mountain. Vial. Yeah, Vial's a good card. So now the question is, do we overload Mindrake? With that draw, I believe the answer is yes, because it gives us 2 cards to pitch. Our opponent has to pick between their 5. They pitched a Matron and a War Chief. Here's hoping that they don't have the Relic to eat Elishnorn and Ashen Rider. Although we don't have any way to recur them, and we don't have any way to mill ourselves anymore. A Thoughtseize is seeing nothing. So let's hit Marsh Flats allows us to get our basic planes here, which means we'll be Blood Moon safe. They vial in Prospector. Yep. Put Vial up to 2. Unburial, Footsteps, Body Double. Yeah. They attack us for 1. MTG bot does not like my channel. Yeah, I know. I'm sorry. I've tried to get it to join. Just doesn't like it. I don't know why. At this. 1 mana away from Body Double. And that'll seal the deal with an Elishnorn. Odds were 100%. As they are, right? And so they uptick that to 3. They need a discard spell here. They don't have it. Sure, make your zombies. Your goblins. Goblins, zombies, same thing. They're dead. This chieftain sounds good. You've got an army of tutus. How does an army of tutus deal with a Elishnorn? Body double. Does opponent just concede to this? We'll play an Elishnorn. Opponent concedes to the Elishnorn. All right, there we go. Elishnorn does things against goblins. Starting off the curse with a 1-0 record. Let's see if we can dodge. See if we can get this 5-0 with Vesperlark, right? All right, we won the die roll. Let's take the play. 10 articles on Reddit about it. So this has crab footsteps and a mine rake. What? Do you not like me having a mouse on my screen? I'm lazy. And Jason, yeah. Oh, you're right. They do have the mouse avatar. So we will get a island here and crab and pass. Avatar's a big thing. I don't pay too much attention to them, but I can see how, if you do, they are. Engineered on 1. Okay. Seems a bit hasty there, opponent. Ooh, even though they have the EE on 1, do we go for the crab, mill ourselves 12? I think we do. We need third land. We'll draw the third land. Focus. Well, there's our Woodfall premise. That we'll get a Watery Grave tapped and mill ourselves another 12. Godless Shrine. Yeah, that's probably more correct. So that way we have our colors like that on burial rites. So we didn't hit too many lands there. Send a message with the crab. Yeah. It's okay. Opponent almost skipped through their turn. And they decide to go ahead and blow up the EE. Never punished. That I guess we have to get Hollowed Fountain here. That's very true. I have no idea what they're on. So is this is body double, right? I'm not crazy. We body double into the Woodfall. So that way we still have, yeah, that way the target's still there if we hit another body double or something. That, yeah, I was gonna say we don't do Evan where we just constantly reanimate the same target. This, it'll die, persist trigger, it comes back, body double again. I could have gotten Vesperlark. You're right, that would have been correct. Opponent seems a bit upset. 5-5 versus 6-6. That's true. Opponent did not like that they no longer had lands. We have absolutely no idea what they are. We saw forest, gemstone mine, and engineered explosives. Only thing I could think of that runs engineered explosives and gemstone mine is like a Titan deck. So the question is, if it's a Titan deck, is Iona or Gust good enough? Or is just our main game plan good enough? Let's just see if the main game plan is good enough again. I don't really want to risk it, so going with that safe bet seems correct. We'll find out if it is or not. Okay, we've got a Stitchers, a Vesperlark. It's one land. It's so good, but it's one land. I know my curse with one landers. I can't keep it. I mean, you say that. Okay, we can work with this. We can work with this. I believe it's put back probably Delta and Island here, because we don't know what they are. Yeah. Oh, a land and double. That makes more sense. Okay. True. So it's definitely Titan. Which kind of makes me want to overload this Mindrake as quick as possible. Just strip them of being able to do anything. Radiant Fountain, they gain some life. And let's see, Dryad of the Elysian Grove. No. Okay. So on the bright side, we don't have to worry about Moon. We now know that they are a Titan deck. At this point, it's grab Watery Grave. That happens. Upkeep, draw. We draw a Vesperlark, which is pretty good for us because now we can overload body double evoke. Each player discards 2. Maybe they pitch Titan. If they pitch Titan, we would gladly accept that. We'll pitch both doubles here. All right, opponent. Well, that's definitely being saved. Thank you, Mr. Replay Buffer. Does not matter what we draw. Opponent stopped on our upkeep. We draw another body double. Cool. Right? Turn 3 Titan in an Esper deck. Do that. Body double. We'll take a prime time. There we go. What's wrong with a turn 3 Titan in a deck that doesn't run green? 2-0. We'll take it. Okay. We'll take the play. So we've got a Stitcher, we've got Rake, we've got Collective Brutality. Interesting. I just don't think the Stitcher's gonna hit anything good, and that's our only mill. And I get punished, of course. A hand that's questionably keepable into a hand that is 100% not keepable. Down to 5 we go. Not a bad 5 though. Put that and put that on bottom. We are sadly having to fetch and shock. We'll get this hollowed fountain. Undo. I don't need that for blue. Pass the turn. Wooded foothills. They crack it. And sacred foundry. Burn? Okay. So crab mill ourselves 3. Hit a Vesperlark. Not terrible. And this nether bolt. Okay. Opponent stuck on 1 land. Let's see how many burn spells the burn player might have. Yeah, it's a question of like, do we go for the collective brutality? Well, we've gotten rid of 3 bolts. We've effectively saved ourselves some life. Okay. So escalate 2 modes. That. Black, white. This, pitch a Primus. Okay. So out of all of these, which are we scared of the most? We don't gain life. I guess it's either Boros Charm or Rift Bolt. We could have waited for a creature. You're right. That's probably the correct move. So Rift Bolt. Yeah, I was gonna say Rift Bolt enables the skewer here. We now need lands or Vesperlark. Nope, just lands. There's no body double in the yard. Yeah. Well, doesn't seem like they hit a land. So that's 1 spike out the way. So they've got... Ouch. On the bright side, Iona. Name red. There we go. So now they can hit us for 6. Or they're going to choose to instant speed Boros Charm. Okay. We just need a land now. This build is not. That's what I forgot. Resolute Angel. I knew I was forgetting something. It should definitely be one Resolute, one Hellish Norn. Yeah. And so we're down to 6. We know that it's Skullcrack and Unknown in hand. Land off the top. Ouch. I don't think we play out the Stitchers here. Because Stitchers can enable Searing Blaze, and we don't need it in the yard. We don't need more things in the yard right now. Canyon, they can crack Canyon. If they have 2 burn spells, we're dead. We go to 3. Okie doke. Okay. Let's see. Nope, we weren't gonna get there. All right, versus burn. Timely's definitely. Iona's, yes. Gust is a possibility. As far as what we want to take out, probably some crabs. Most of the JVP. Lily's not great. We've got one more to cut. We can cut the other Jace. A Woodfall can. True. Yeah, that's very true. They don't need lots of lands. If you're looking for Iona or faster beater. Yeah. That is true. Blah, 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 blah. Yeah. We're looking to either stall out the game to find our stuff or just get there quick with an Ashen Rider or an Iona. Hellish Norn I can see possibly bringing in because all of their creatures are X2s. So it'd keep their board clear. Yeah. We'll do that. We'll take the play. Let's see a good 6. So the problem with this is we don't have any discard. This has Vesperlarks and a Brutality. Vesperlark cannot bring back a Primus, so we have to go down to 5. Looks like the dream of the 5-0 is going to be crushed by burn. Especially when they're at 7 and we're going to be going down to 5. You'd keep this? Okay. I guess because if we find a body double, we're in pretty good shape. Is it pitch a 1 Vesperlark? Because we don't need 2. Since we're shuffling away, and this guarantees us 3 lands. Yeah. This will lead off on Delta and pass. And Foothills, they crack. That is true. Goblin Guide comes in. Show me what's on top, guide. Do I want it? It's a body double. So we don't crack and we draw this body double and we collective brutality. Collective brutality 3-moded. Sounds good. We'll go swamp. And this will be a hollowed fountain. You this 3 modes. Target opponent, target creature, target opponent. Pitch the woodfall, pitch the body double. All right. Oh no. They're a land away from the rest in peace. Did not even think that they could bring in Rip. Missed the land. Missed the land. Yes. We dodged it. I mean, we don't win. And this is a Voke, right? Yes, we do. Shush. This is 100% a Voke. Because we need this body double. Which will grab this Woodfall Primus. Which will blow up their land. And now we can get a... They shock it in. Bolt? Other lava spike. Okay, so we know what their hand is. We're down to 10. Their hand consists of a good amount of damage. I don't want to crack this unless we need to. We will hold the fetch. Yeah. All right. So we would have drawn a body double. We couldn't have cast it, however, which wouldn't have been as good. Oh, that would have done it. Okay. So we know that they brought in Rip. So feed the swarms. Get in here. Arguably, we can take gusts out. They kind of just buy us a turn. Yeah. Hand seems like it has potential for interesting turn 2 if we can hit a body double. That's true. I could. So this Iona's kind of dead in our hand, but at the same time, the Stitchers and Vesperlark I think should be enough. Between Stitchers and goryos. And hopefully Vesperlark. Yeah, it's like this 6 is keepable. So what do we see? Guide. A brutality. I like that card. This Stitchers. Hope no immediate rip. Yeah. Well, on the bright side, if they don't have the rip, we have a turn 2 Hellish Norn. Thought it was Iona. No, it's not Iona, but an Hellish Norn is still pretty good. Red. Searing Blaze. I'm fine with that. Iona. Opponent. Opponent, no. I feel so bad. Also even shock this in. You that cast with Evoke. opponents. Evoke this, gets back body double. Body double comes back. We pick Iona. We name her Red. And we win. Turn 2 Iona. I had thought for sure Burn was about to take us down there. We keep the dream alive. I don't know. It was whatever. It's whatever the bit.ly Fluffy Wolf is. I don't believe my bot's in chat, so if I do this, it won't work. Yep, it does not link correctly. Oh, well, Stream Elements does. So yeah, it's that one. The Fluffy Vesperlark 2020. Okay, this is keepable. We need... So we'll need interesting ones here. Ash in there? Yeah, that's probably correct. I just like having two things in the yard. Thoughtseize, eat my crab. It's like, you obviously don't take the premise of the Ashen Rider. Maybe you take the brutality so I don't have a way to discard? It's like, you either take crab or brutality here. It's the crab. Okay. This upkeep, we draw. Never didn't have it. There's totally nothing bugged with Moto, right? They discarded a crab, we drew a crab. That's exactly how that works, right? That's what, a 3 in 54 chance was the odds? Interesting. Seal of Fire kills our crab. Come on, opponent. Death Shadow is a 1/1. 2 damage there. I mean, we can kill this shadow and eat an instant or sorcery from their hand here. And that doesn't seem awful. Yeah, I was gonna say it's not the Scourge. So this, we would probably want white in the future. So we'll go ahead and shock. 2 modes, reveal their hand, target creature gets -2/-2. Just so we can have a peek at what they're doing. The question is, do we pitch the Primus or the Rider? Probably Primus first here, because we have this Jace. Ashen. Well, we dodged a TBR. And I'm making all the wrong calls. That's true. Ashen can take care of the Skyclave. So they play out a mountain. And they either play a creature here or they put Lurrus in the hand. Yeah, they put Lurrus in the hand. Yeah. Brutality. It's Prodigy here. Yeah. I want to say, because worst case is they play this mountain and they go, or this swamp, and they go Lurrus plus Death Shadow. We get to Death Shadow Brutality again. That's true. We could also hit... Ooh, interesting. So they do this. They replace Seal. Okay. So they kill off our Jace. That's fine. We can now... We still need lands. Can we kill Luris? So... Do we go ahead in 3 mode with this hand? I think so, right? Because we want Body Double in the yard. We want Ashen Rider in the yard. It puts us in top deck mode, but it also kills their Luris. Yeah. Okay, so they just have a Death Shadow, which we just grew, unfortunately. Which is what the question was did they have a Death Shadow in hand? The answer was yes. It's not big. So Soul Scar, Death Shadow. And now we're both in top deck. Yep. And looks like they're gonna draw a card off this Sunbaked. I mean, they might not, because it's a way to grow their shadow. Well, there's our land, which arguably we should hold, make them think that we have removal. So the question is, do we try to deck thin using this Delta? Probably, since we've already played it. They crack the canyon. I don't know why they didn't do that last turn when they had open mana. So they shock in. They can smack for 7. We go down to 10. We now need... Yeah, Footsteps or Vesper here. 10 or 9, same difference. Get Watery Grave tapped. One time, we've got, what, 8 hits? Awkward. Yeah, my plan was going to be like, ideally we hit Footsteps, we go reanimate the Body Double. Body Double gets back. Woodfall, we take them off of 1 land and then it dies. On the bring back trigger, we bring back Ashen Rider and exile the Shadow. We go down to 2 here unless they have a TBR. I know my sequencing sometimes. Let's see. That will not do it. Okie doke. Cast. That's true. Cast it, see what they have. I mean, it's red, black, shadow. What could they have? Does it really matter? But they can't slam Belcher because they have Luris. All right. So timelies don't seem awful here. Yeah, I can see how you can hate this matchup. Timelies and Iona don't seem awful because Iona we can name black, cuts them off of their shadow and the Skyclave. Feeds, that's true. They could have ley lines, and it also is just a good target creature, and most of their things are 2 and 1. Lily seems bad. Yeah. Lily seems bad. JVPs don't seem great. And I guess shave a Primus and a Vesperlark? Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. The Primus just doesn't do much. We're not going to really be able to stop them from lands unless we get down a Primus early. I don't know if the Vesperlark's the right call. Yeah, exactly. And it's like there's so many different ways. And so like this mana base, also you said Godless Shrine. This mana base doesn't actually have a Godless Shrine. But definitely should. That I feel you want body doubles as much as possible. From the aspect of body double can turn into any of these things. I mean, you say you fixed that. You fixed it in the video, probably. I believe I was there. I was there for part of it. No, being a premium sub means you're just quality sub, not premium. Okay. So what, you have default, you have quality, and then you have premium. See, I'd go with you have a sub, you have a premium sub, and then you have simp subs. This is an interesting hand. It doesn't do anything, but it has a kill and it has a timely. Still a mulligan. If we hit something here, we can keep Bottom of Brutality because we have an overloaded Mind Rake pitching these two. Right. I don't think the first one was necessarily that bad. It's just a... I think I could do better on a Multa 6 than what this 7 can offer me right now. This 7 offers me time. The 6 might offer me something. Right? That's exactly what we want here. Sadly, we can't. That's what I get for not thinking before hitting export. This main end crack. So we kind of sort of have to get the black mana because that gives us too much right now. And we can now 3-mode Brutality. I feel... Do we 3-mode Brutality or do we overload Mind Rake? I like 3-mode Brutality because it takes care of their immediate threat. So they have a... Mardu. Wow. So... I guess it's we take the Unearth, right? It's either the Unearth or the Path. I guess we take... I mean, we can. That doesn't feel right. On the bright side, they now also can't play their Scourge with this play. Because we're at 20. If we draw a land, what do we do? Probably land Stitchers and then overload Mind Rake? So on the bright side, we haven't hit any lands off of our mills. That is true. They bolt us, so that way they can Skyclave and have a 3/3. That's fine. So land off the top here is what we kind of sort of need. This is probably the Skyclave coming down. Yeah. So I can't imagine it being anything else. They've got 3 in hand. Keep, we draw land. Footsteps. So we're now stuck deciding, is an overloaded... Yeah, I was gonna say, I don't want to throw anything here. So they can fetch. Laris isn't in hand yet. And they shocked in that Blood Crypt, meaning that they probably have a Death Shadow. Because they could Death Shadow TBR. I will gladly block with the Stitcher's Supplier. Of course, we mill 2 lands. Yeah, ideally we have fetch and then body. Okay, so Luris went into hand. And then they played that. This upkeep. Man, oh man. I mean, we play out crab here, so that way minimalistically we can block with a crab. Okay. Yeah, I was... Yeah. I mean... We can take it once. Because even if they TBR, it's only 9. If they have TBR bolt... TBR bolt, we die. Right, well... So Luris comes down here. And they get a Swift Spear back. So they can't TBR. Arid Mesa's interesting. I wonder if they have another white source to go grab. They swing with just the Scourge. We'll take it. Because if we hit a land here, it's 6. Which is kind of sort of what we need. Land? So the problem is TBR is now online. And they TBR the Skyclave. And we basically lose. We can block 4 of it. Unfortunate. Welcome to the game that is variance. So 4, we block there. We take 2 from first strike. Grows this to 8. We lose. I mean, we still properly do this. It's funny, we can block and they can TBR and use their path. If they use their path, we get our land. But then we take 2 more damage. We take 2 more damage in the first strike phase. It's mainly just seeing what all that they've got. So sadly, looks like our dreams are going to be crushed. So first strike damage happens, we go to 12, and then we take 13, go to -1. All right. Well, there goes the dreams of the 5-0. Deck is still cursed. But let's see if we can get a 4-1. And my 21 minus 5 would be 18. 18. This hand's not keepable. Again, not keepable. Sorry if you can hear my dogs in the background. So this isn't really keepable, but at the same time, I don't think we're winning on 4. So I think it's put back the doubles and keep ourselves 1 brutality, 1 body double. Now we can flooded strand into fetch for watery grave, then turn 2 have 2 moded brutality, if not 3 moded, then maybe a lily, although this is Tron. Okay. Not only is it Tron, it's Tron that will have turn 3 Tron. You water grave tapped. Say okay. This blah upkeep draw. Okay. Not awful. Because now we could 2 mode brutality. Pitching the body double and have a body double Vesperlark. It's not phenomenal. Also just shows us what we're working with here. Okay, so it's E-Tron. It's E-Tron with no payoff. Okay. We're in decent shape with that. So they play the plant and matter reshaper. We know 2 of their cards. We draw brutality again. That's not great. We'll play out a Jace here. Planning to loot, probably pitching this brutality. Okay. That page counter draws. And then plays out the tower. They have 6 mana. They choose to do nothing with it. They'll get in for 3. Sounds good. And then what do we see? A Woodfall Primus. We'll take that. We loot. We'll discard a Woodfall Primus. We'll play a Hollowed Fountain into play tap, so that way we have mana. Then we'll evoke a Vesperlark here. It sadly doesn't matter which one we blow up. I mean, the correct answer is Power Plant, so they have to search with mine. But Poke trigger hits body double comes back. We make sure that we click the right one. Woodfall Primus. Go ahead and blow up the power plant and make them use their map. Yeah, I already knew you were going to be doing that, opponent. I guess we could have gone after the Maze Mine Tome. Stop them from having draw. That's probably more correct, now that I think about it. Kinda sorta need to play your power plant first. Yep, you can't undo that tap since you did that way. So they draw a card. Again, we're about to probably extremely regret not going after this Maze Mine Tome. They choose to not swing with the Reshaper. Interesting. Upkeep, we draw a crab. Let's go ahead and loot. Try to find ourselves a fourth land here. We don't. Guess it's pitch brutality. And this is up to one target creature or minus. I think we really want 2 minus, so we will uptick there. They have a 1/2. We can go crab. And this. We'll just brutality them. Drain. It's not phenomenal, but it's not awful. That, and then swing for 6. Only get punished if they have Dismember here. Two and 4, triggered ability, reveals. Temple, I'm assuming that comes into play. It does. They draw another card. This Maze Mine Tome's definitely doing work. Definitely should have gone after it instead of the Tron land. Yep. They do that. Let's see what they grab. Scavenger Grounds. That's a card. Don't know if that's what you want to grab at this point when I've already got a Woodfall Primus out. Upkeep, we draw. What do we draw? Daily Black Source. Because as soon as we target the yard, this scavenger grounds is going to go om nom nom. That. Exile all cards from all graveyards. We'll mill our opponents a bit. That's a nice mill. Black, black one. Each player discards. Uptick, there's our targets. Swing for 6. Opponent will now be dead on board. Other than that, they're going to gain some life. So they pitched the mine, so we now no longer know any of their hand. I'm assuming it's not great, considering how they haven't done anything. They go to 10. Buying themselves 1 turn. What's Jace's emblem? Whenever you cast a spell, target opponent mills 5. That seems pretty mediocre. 6 mana. Ugin. Okay. We now just gonna drop our hand. Or are we gonna go down tick, destroy here, exile? Probably what they do. Yep. Persist trigger. Why are you letting me do this? Why'd we not scavenger grounds in response? Has the dismember. Okay. Opponent took 4 for no reason. Upkeep, we draw a land. That's not terrible. Let's go ahead and set up our yard. We milled footsteps and a Vesperlark. Okay. You get an island, mill ourselves. We milled Jace, Stitchers, and another footsteps. Each player discards. So we could use Jace. I'm not opposed to this. Use Jace to grab footsteps. Footsteps of Vesperlark. Vesperlark can bring back Stitchers. Mill us some more for next turn. It exiles one of our footsteps, but at the same time, that's fine. This, bring back Stitcher Supplier. Stitcher Supplier mills 3. Did not hit anything great there. Unfortunate. But we've got ourselves a 6-turn clock. Blast Zone on 1. Blow up the world. Chooses not to blow up the world. Understandable. This into play tapped. We'll mill ourselves 3. What 3 do we hit? Anything good? Nope. Okay. Everybody play discard. Yeah. You can play that card. You can play this card. Five mana? What do you have? 5 mana instant speed. Or are they trying? They're trying to make it. They're going so that way I can't Lily alt. Okay. I can see that as a line here. I don't think it's the correct line, but I can see it as a line. That, blow up the blast zone. Yep, and goodbye, Liliana. Saw the one last how we're doing here. We're doing all right. This is game 1 against Tron. It's E-Tron. They've had Tron assembled for a while. I probably misplayed and Primus hit a power plant when they had a map out instead of hitting a Maze Mine Tome. What's the Dredgeland? Dackmore Salvage? I don't mind that. Hey, an unburial rites. Problem is, we don't have much in the yard here. We have a Vesperlark. Well. Stitchers. Show me what we've got. Let's see if they want to block. They don't want to block. Why? So we could Vesper. Yeah, I was gonna say we can still just reanimate Vesperlark. It's not the greatest unburial rights, but hey, it's still not bad. Yeah, I was gonna say it now is just a 2-turn clock because they're at 4. That's true. It does avoid another thought knot. Ghost Quarter? Sure. Opponent doesn't swing. We draw a crab. Ransack. Yeah, that doesn't sound bad. This crab. In combat, swing with both of these. Opponent blocks the Stitchers. That's great. We mill 3. What do we hit? We hit a body double, which we can just leave in the yard. That way, if they kill our Vesperlark, we're fine. If they don't kill our Vesperlark, they're dead. Yeah. Yeah, I was gonna say, if they kill the Vesperlark, Vesperlark now targets Body Double. Body Double comes back as a copy of Vesperlark. LTB. All is dust. Sure. I'll sacrifice all my permanents. Vesperlark, get back this Body Double. Body Double, get back this Vesperlark. Good try, opponent. Well, now we've got a card in our hand that we can't cast. How unfortunate. You got it? Opponent doesn't have it. Death by Vesperlark. All right, so we're facing Tron. It's Eldrazi Tron, more specifically. So they don't necessarily need the Tron plan. Iona can't name colorless, right? It's name a color? Okay. Yes. We could do Ashiok to stop them from being able to search. It's E-Tron, so they're probably bringing in... Yeah. Is it just... Yeah, we really don't. I honestly, like... Lily out. Lily out and what? Do we go to Fairy to bounce an artifact? Or Ashiok? I like just going 1/1 there. Replacing 1 and 1. Then running it back. Yeah, it's one of these, it's like, it's not terrible. It's not phenomenal. I mean, this hand is great. Everything is always up to the streamer, but getting input from the crazy person who made this amazing deck, probably not a bad plan. Well, there's a cage. Okay. There's our third land. This pay 2 blue. I mean, we can. Yeah, I was gonna say we're about to just start milling them. Legion Crab doesn't necessarily have to hit us. Pithing Needle. What? Name Jace Vryn's Prodigy? Yes, I was gonna say Body Double does not care. We just can't reanimate the Body Double. Watch them name Liliana Vivale. Right? I was gonna say, it's just... Of course. Of course they named it Prodigy. We will have an army of 0/2s. That's not bad. I like that plan. We will mill you, opponent. Yeah. I was gonna say they kept a lot of hate here. Yeah, we'll shock in this watery grave. Why not? They brought in spyglass. These people are very hateful. Get in there, Hedron Crab. Go the distance. A one lander. They really kept a very, very hateful one lander. Yep. Just trying to get rid of as many things as possible from them. Yeah, I was gonna say, at this point, it's definitely just double them, right? If we can just constantly stop them, we don't need stuff in our yard. Body double? Body double. No. Wrong card. Bad deck. You eat them. Well, they no longer have Urza's Mine. Mine. That's a very interesting mill. Brah. Yep. We have a 0-2. They finally hit a second land. What do they have on 2? Chalice on 1? Okay. Flooded Strand. Mill them. Yeah, no more crab. Makes us sad. This will get this watery grave, so that way when we get these last couple of lands... Oh, I know. They're down to 20 some odd cards. 27 cards. We've got 3 more land drops to go before we hardcast Assassin Rider. Oh no, they hit the blast zone. Chalice on 1 hurts them for their maps. Yes. Uncounterable Thought Not Seer. Well, there goes our Ashen Rider. On the bright side, if we hit a body double... I mean, they laugh at the Assassin Rider, but they still take it. I guess if they have another one, they know that we're 3 turns away from the Assassin Rider. Keep draw Stitchers. We can just hold it in hand. It doesn't do anything anyway. I know. That's why I said it doesn't do anything. Well, they finally have their land drops. So let's see here. I don't feel like taking 4 yet. And I want to keep this crab alive as long as possible. Yep. Jace is now dead. 3 mana, blast zone, blow up crab, and needle, and cage. Do it. Do it. Do it. No. Don't play out second thought, not. You're supposed to blow up the blast zone. Now they take the Ashen Rider. They're just not afraid of this Ashen Rider. Damn you, Chalice. We don't have a way to kill Cage. Clearly need Cavern on Crab. 2/1/1. Oh, did they finally draw the Smasher? So we now actually have to block. At which point we now lose. Darn. The turn 1 Cage was good enough. Because yeah, we're down to 4, but we have nothing. We draw Body Double. Okay. We are in this. Not really. Because they're at 20. We could Body Double Ashen Rider. Yeah. I was gonna say we can Body Double the Ashen Rider, get rid of the Reality Smasher, block a Thought Knot, take 4 and die. Okay. So they brought in a lot of hate with that Cage and the Needle. Teferi, get in here. Because minimalistically we can Teferi and then bounce things. We don't have any other way to deal with artifacts because we did Feed the Swarm over the Disenchants, which I still feel is the correct call, but yeah. I guess it's like cut a Stitchers to make room for these Teferi so that way we can bounce. Jace. It's too late. So, like, what's the downside to this hand? True. True. Yes. But that's downside to every hand, is we'll never have the third land. Opponent mulligan to 4. Yep. We just have to hope that they didn't mulligan super hard for Cage and find it. Body Double Woodfall Premise. No. Those are not the cards I told you to hit. And Power Plant. Cage. Okay, opponent. I see that you really want us to play the long game here. Yeah, we're fine. Land. Brutality. That we'll pay 2. I could honestly see an argument to Mind Rake. But I think we want Jace to be able to start digging. Yeah. Well, we definitely reckon if we had a land. True. Now he can dig more than twice. Okay. We'll get rid of Mind Rake. Why not? Oh yeah, we're winning with this beat stick. Honestly, this might be a Voke Vesperlark for the Stitchers supplier. And no, they're at 2. We definitely Mind Rake. Doesn't come back, please don't. Oh, you're right. I need to read cards and pay attention to what's on the battlefield. Well, there goes a Chalice and a Thought Knot Seer. Pretty good hits. Yep. So at this point, we are searching for lands. Problem is this Jace doesn't do much. Main, what we doing? We cracking Relic? Right? Please let me dig more with this Jace. Ah, yes. Yes. And then we don't even need it. Just drop this Vesperlark. And we can now loot when we draw a dead card. Hmm. 2, 4, Thought Knot. Okay. You can have the footsteps. That's fine. Yeah. I think we play out a land here, right? Just so that way we have like one more land loot. The loot's probably correct. Yeah, at this point we're looking for Lark or body double after we block with the Stitchers here. But I don't want to block with the Stitchers until we have to. Right. One of those, it's like it's a tough call. Thought Knot does not swing. Upkeep, we draw. At this point we'll loot. Okay. So we now no longer need lands. This flooded shrine can get basic island? Probably what I'd get. That is true. Is that true? At this point, I believe I'm only running 2 swamps. So, yeah. I'll say in general, you are correct. We do have more hits with the Delta than we do with the Flooded Strand. This list has 1 plains. 1, 2, 4. What, we drop another Thought Knot here? Or Karn? Probably Karn. Ballista on 2. Okay. Yep. Yep. Ballista doesn't ruin us. Cage plus Ballista ruins us. So it looks like the Vesperlark curse is gonna continue. So let's see, with this mana base, they hit... Yeah, everything only hits these at this point. I mean, yeah, that's the curse. Is that the deck does great, but it can't put up a 5-0. Upkeep, we draw. Let's loot. And unburial rites. Such a good... wait a second. Keep land. Probably was more correct. You're right. We can still hard cast. I also don't think we're living to the point to hard cast, because that is 3 turns. This walking ballista gets pumped. It shoots us. We get hit for 5. We have a 3-turn clock facing us. Our opponent has Reality Smasher. No, because they tapped out. Yeah. Say it's this. It's hit my supplier here. It's definitely don't let me go to blocks. Opponent, why? Well, it's a fairy off the top. Okay, are you trading your ballista for our Jace here? What do you think? Okay, yeah, we can definitely brew a bit. Body double. Would you look at that? Is it body double Primus or Ashen Rider? Oh, yeah. Do we destroy or exile? Rider. We get another draw. Hold. Yeah, I know. We could have gone Primus. Yes. I mean, it sort of does. Yes. It's Teferi uptick. Yeah, I want to say it's to play Teferi uptick, and then next turn downtick Teferi and play, or we'll just draw another body double. Ashen Rider, get rid of that cage, put it into exile. Hope you got Karn off the top there. That's the game plan. Unless I have Karn here. Yep. Karn reveals... What? What are we getting? Do they re-get cage? No, they get bridge. Yep. One at Karn, one at them. I've been playing too much arena. I know. That's a nice bridge opponent. Yep. We get there 4-1. Hard to complain. Upkeep, draw. White, white, black, black. We're 1 mana away. Ashen Rider, get rid of bridge. Opponent realized how good bounce the sorry. Yeah, it was looking real bad for us, and then all of a sudden it was body double into body double. Sure, we'll take it. 4-1 with the Vesperlark Reanimator. So as we were talking about throughout this league, this list has some tuning to do, and we're gonna tune it. And the 4-1 ain't bad. It's a fun one. There we go. That's it for this video.